Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Cosmic Kids here at Giant Leaps Occupational Therapy. I'm Nessa, and today what we're going to do is we're going to be making little dog puppets. These are so much fun to make. I've been playing with them. You can do any type of dog. You can do a lot of different animals. I've done frogs. So all the materials are things that you should probably most likely you'll have at your house. So you need a sheet of white construction paper. If you don't have that, computer paper works as well. And then you can just use scraps of different colors paper. You're gonna need red, black, yellow, and brown. But if you have a dog at home and you want to make your dog at home, you can just change it up a little bit to make it look like your dog. So you're going to take your piece of paper and fold it this way. So long, like that, and then you're going to put this in the middle and press it down. So this is called horizontal and this is vertical. I try to think of it this way: horizontal, like the horizon. When you look out, it's flat on the water. That's how I remember it. So then take the top and meet it like this. So you should have one skinny, long piece of paper. Next, you're going to take that and just fold it right in half, so it's like this. It looks like an alligator with a big mouth. Go back to the paper, take this side and fold it up like this. Flip it over and fold it like this. So when you open it, it's going to look something like this. Now, if that was too fast for you, you can always go back and rewatch the video. The goal is to have two openings here and here that you can put your fingers in, and that's how you'll get your puppet effect. So if you notice, there's a piece here that flaps open and a piece here that flaps open. I think it's a good idea to glue this down so you don't get confused and accidentally stick your fingers in there. So you want to take a glue stick or any other type of glue and just put a little bit right in the corner and press it down. And do the same at the bottom. So this little flap right here, you just want to make sure that you glue it so you don't accidentally stick your hands in this section, and press that down. So now you can try it. Put your fingers in the top one, put your fingers in the bottom one, and it should open like this. From here on, you can kind of have fun with it, and if you want to do a dog, you can keep going with me and I'll teach you how to do it. If you want to do any other animal, a frog, do your own dog, then you can do that as well. There's a lot you can do. So the first step is you're going to cut out ears of the dog. So I think it's a good idea to use a Sharpie and outline the long ears. And they kind of just look like big loops like this. And if you outline it first, it makes it easier to cut. And they can be tricky to cut because they're so rounded, so you can take your time with that. So take your scissors So remember, when you cut, have your thumb up like this, and it will make you have the most control. now you're going to have two pieces of paper that look like this. And you're going to take your paper. Now you want to make sure that it's this side that you're putting the face on, because so the opening parts, that's where your fingers are going to be, so you want to make the face looking the opposite way. So put the folded parts close to you. I'm going to use a glue stick again. You can use any type of glue. And you're just going to put glue on the inside of the ear like that. Press your paper down and then stick the ear on like this on the side of this square. And you're going to do the same to the other ear. And press them down so it looks like that. So then you have two floppy ears. Next, you could do cut out black paper again, or you could use a Sharpie. I think using a Sharpie is a little bit easier to draw a nose. So if you have a dog, their nose, I know my dog, I have a corgi. So she's really long with short feet and little ears that stick up. She's 3 years old and she has a very small nose. So I'm making this one to be a little bit bigger than hers. If you guys have any dogs at home, why don't you comment what type of dog you have? So if you have a lab, if you have a terrier, if you have a corgi, chihuahua, comment and let us know. You can also tell us their name. So this is how I made my nose. I made it long because I want it to take up a lot of the paper. So you can do that if you want. You can make it smaller. You can make it more of a triangle. It's up to you. Next, what I'm doing is I'm making an outline with my Sharpie. I made it look like this. I'm going to put the eye on top of this. I just have seen dogs that look like this with black spots on their face, and I think it's really cute, so that's what I want to include. And then I'm going to add some dots next to the nose, just like that. And then I'm going to do another circle here, because that's where I'm going to put the other eye. So after you have all of that outlined, it might look a little strange right now, but once you add everything on top, it'll look good. You're going to take two googly eyes. You can use glue stick to glue them on if you want. I'm going to use this. It's called tacky glue. I think it works really well. And it works good for bigger stuff, such as a googly eye. And you just put a little bit on the back. And hold it down. You want it to dry nice. Same with the other side. A little bit. Stick it down. So once that's done, you're going to cut out your dog's tongue. I think it's a good idea, again, to outline it on the sheet of paper. You can make it how long that you want. You can make it short. You can make it pink. You can make it red, whatever you want. So it's just going to look like a very round shape. Take your scissors. out like this. And the last step is I'm going to use a glue stick again. And along the flat side, the top of the tongue, you're going to put just a layer of glue, just like this, straight across, and stick it. You're going to open the dog like this and stick this in and close it, and then you'll have your first dog done. You should wait for it to dry, and then you can start playing with it. Make sure you have them in the right. So that's one dog. Play with the rest of these. These are more examples. You can do small eyes like this, or you can do like the big eyes that we did just now. So I always think it's a good idea to make 2 puppets. That way if you want to put on a play at home or play with a sibling, you guys have 2 animals that you can play with. So we're going to do this again, except this time we're going to make this type of dog. And it's basically the same thing. If you're going to make any animal, it always starts the same. So you're going to follow these directions of how to fold and make the puppet, and then you can decorate from there. So any animal, if you want to make a fish, if you want to make a turtle, anything, it starts this way. So again, you take your paper and hold it horizontally, which is this. This is vertical, horizontal, like the horizon on the water, flat across. Take the bottom half, fold it in halfway. So it looks like this. And then you're going to take this top part, meet it in the middle like this, and fold it. Looks like that. Then you're going to take this and fold it in half. So, looks like a big alligator mouth. If it looks like that, you're on the right track. Then you're going to take this part, fold it back like this, flip it over, and fold it back like this. Stick your fingers in, and that's the start of your puppet. So again, I think it's a good idea. There should be a little flap here. I think it's a good idea to glue it down, that way you don't get confused and try to stick your fingers in this one. So I would just glue that down, flip it over, there's another flap here, glue it and stick it down. Now, if you had a different color paper to originally begin with, you could have done that. I know me, I only had this white paper. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to cut the yellow out the same size as the top. So you might want to mark it. So put it on top and measure it out. And if you don't have scraps of paper that are colored at home like this, that's okay. You can always just paint it with a marker, anything you want. So now I'm going to cut this out. And that's one of my favorite things about this, is that you can pretty much do it with any materials that you have. You don't have to go out and buy anything, because you can pretty much find anything at home and make it work. So I'm just going to completely put glue on this with my glue stick on the back and stick it on top here. press it down really good so that it stays. And that's going to be the face of your dog. Now the folded parts, again, are going to want to face you while you decorate. So have it facing towards you. And you're going to add your ears. So I use this. I'm using a dark brown color, and I'm doing the same type of ears as I did on the first dog. Floppy and long. You could also do spiked little ears if you want. That would be cool to put 2 triangles at the top of the dog. That might look nice as well. So your 2 ears are going to look like this, or something like this, depending on what type of dog you want to make. And you're just going to glue them onto the sheet of paper again. Next, I'm going to do a nose again. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it look like a little bit like an upside down triangle and fill that in. Like that. Then I'm going to take a brown Sharpie and just make that big, kind of looks like a kidney bean if you know what that is, and completely fill it in with brown. You don't have to do this part, I just think it makes the dog look really interesting and realistic. And again, 2 googly eyes. I'm going to use this glue, the tacky glue, but you can use a glue stick if you want. Oops. Glue the back of it. Stick it on. Glue the back. Stick it on. Press them down, and while you wait for these to dry, the eyes, you can start working on the tongue. I'm going to make this tongue a little bigger, I think. Take your red paper. And cut it out. If you want to draw it on first, the Sharpie or pencil, that's a good idea. Glue down the flat top. Stick it on the inside flap of your puppet. Press it all down, and then you can try it on. Just have to find the flaps. And you have your second puppet. So now we have 2. They look a little differently. And you can make a lot of puppets if you want and then put on a puppet play. Those are a lot of fun. You just need to get a table and a curtain, and then you can stick your hands through and put on a big play for your parents. So there you go. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Leave some comments below what you want to see next week, what type of animal you made, and join us next Tuesday, sorry. Bye.